find it. It doesn't seem to be on any of these stations.
Keep looking.
Oh, you're going too slow. Let me take the wheel.
It's too fast. How could you even tell what's on?
I can tell.
What's going on, guys?
Back.
Too late. I'm in the 40s. Gotta go around the horn. It's faster.
Loot from series. So, let's get into this grind.
Now, Edge.
In today's loot from video, I'll be fishing dark crabs for 10 hours. To make this video a little bit more interesting, I'm going to do this without banking, so hopefully I don't get PK'd. Let's see how I get on. Okay, so I made a community post on my channel asking you guys what video I should be doing next, and most of the votes did go to the loot from 10,000 crystal keys. Now at the start of the voting, the votes did go towards the dark crabs, and obviously a few people asked me to do this as well, so I thought let me do this one first, but the next video will be a loot from 10,000 crystal keys, as that's got the most votes right now. So as most of you guys know, the dark crabs are in the resource area in the high end of the wilderness, and people do PK here a lot, so you can't AFK like other fishing methods. Now you can get here by using an edgefield lever, and you will need a knife to cut through the web as you make your way to the resource area. So yeah, as I mentioned, to make this video a bit more interesting, I decided to stay in the resource area and not bank no matter what. Now there is 4 fishing locations in this area, and I like to fish in this spot just because if people want to declaw rush me, then they'll have to run around the magic tree, which will give me enough time to log out or even run away, where if you stand in this spot you'll have more chance of dying from a declaw rusher, as they could just run straight towards you. Now before entering the resource area, I would check if there's no one in there, and you can do this by right clicking on the gate, then choose the option peek, and it will let you know if there's people in there. Also, if you haven't completed the wilderness diaries, you will have to pay a fee of 7.5k, but if you have completed up to the medium diaries, you'll pay 6k. If you completed the hard diary, you'll pay 3,750 GP, and if you've completed the elite diaries, the entry will be free. Also, if you log out whilst being in a resource area, when you next log back in, you'll be spawned outside the resource area, so bear that in mind. Now most people when they fish dark crabs, they'd bank after a few hundred for obvious reasons. Now the banking isn't straightforward, and there's 2 possible ways. First of all, you can go to Major Arena Bank where pkers are normally there, and you'll need to cut the web twice and then use the lever to bank. Or you can run to the lever next to the resource area, and you'll need to cut the web and go to Edgefield, so whether you're banking or not, it is very risky. Now this area is not just a place to fish, you can also woodcut, so you can do magics, you can do some mining, and you can do some smithing, but of course I wouldn't recommend going here unless you're doing the diaries. Now I'm going to run through the gear setup as well as inventory. So first of all, the gear setup. I'm using really good defensive gear such as Torag's helm, Carol's top and Torag's legs. I've also got the Din's bulwark with me, which is a really good item to take as it gives plus 145 in defensive stats and plus 148 in range defense. It does cost around 4 mil, but it is a must when fishing dark crabs. Next I have a couple of diary items such as the RD 4 and Fremnit boots 4. Also I've got some rune gloves as well. These items do give some defensive bonuses which will help against PKers. Now you can go more tanky if you like, but I thought this would be an alright gear setup. Also, if you completed the Wilderness Elite diaries, then you can get an improved catch rate when fishing dark crabs. Also at 99 fishing, the chance to catch a dark crab will increase from 12% to 34%, which is really high, which will obviously make you more GP. Now I still haven't got the heron pet, so the base chance of that when fishing dark crabs is 1 in 149,000, so we'll see how lucky I get today. Now for my inventory, there is a few items that you're going to need that is really important. The first one is the wilderness sword, which is completing the wilderness diaries. Now it doesn't matter if you've completed easy or elite, it doesn't matter, you will cut the web 100% of the time compared to using a knife or something else. And if you lose this item from a PK, you can get this item back for free. Same goes with the RD cape and the Fremnit boots. Now next I have a lockpick and flowers. Now this is a fantastic option to escape from PKers, because opposite the resource area there is a magic axe hut which requires a lockpick to get in, and you also only need 23 thieving, which is a low requirement. And once you're in, the axes will attack you, and that is when you switch to your assorted flowers, take your gear off and just attack. Keep your auto retaliate on as well, and you shouldn't do any damage to the axes. So if a PK does have a pick lock as well and comes in, you won't get hit by the PK because axes will attack the PK, if that makes sense. And people do say you can X-log while in this position, but I wouldn't log out or X-log just in case, as I wouldn't trust it in case something goes wrong. Next I have 3 brews and 1 restore just in case PKs come, and obviously I'm going to need to heal and survive. And to fish the crabs you're going to need dark fishing bait and a cage, as well as some GP to pay an NPC called Piles, what a name, and he will note your crabs for a fee. So I took around 154k in coins, which is enough for 10 hours worth of crabs. So I'm a couple of hours in and I haven't had any signs of pkers, which is good. I do choose the worlds carefully, so I went into the world with the least amount of people and tried to avoid the total worlds, as that is where pkers go a lot, and so far it seems to be doing the trick. Now, according to the OSRS wiki, you can make around 300k GP per hour, which is around 308 raw dark crabs, as well as 40k fishing XP per hour. Now, after hour 1 I managed to catch 305 dark crabs, which is pretty much bang on what they say, and spending around 15k GP per hour noting the crabs. 4 hours in now guys, and still no pkers, so this could be a very chill 10 hours, but I don't want to speak too soon. Now, I want to mention about the clan event recently, which was Bandos. Now, there was only 4 of us, but nevertheless it was still fun. We was there for a good few hours. I didn't mind tanking as well because the kills were really fast. Unfortunately we didn't get anything good, so we didn't get any tacits or Bandos chestplate or even a pet, for example. But yeah, it was fun, and I would like to see what I could do for the next event, so yeah, thank you to those who came along. So almost at the 5 hour mark now, and this happens. I'm kind of glad this has happened, because then you would actually see how to escape from pkers easily using the magic cut. These 2 pkers were so bad at trying to kill me. I didn't panic, as I knew as long as I got into that magic cut I was okay. For some reason I was hitting quite often with the flowers when I got into the magic cut, so I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but it was funny because the ranger decided to come in and he knew he couldn't attack me, so he left, and then all of a sudden another pker came along called Cheese Bush. Now I thought that was part of their little group, but he was actually wrecking these 2, and yeah, it just gave me the opportunity to escape, so yeah, big shout out to him for letting me escape. And yeah, I wanted to stay a little bit longer just to see what would happen if he kills them both, but yeah, in the end I decided to run out and log. 7 hours in now guys, and no pkers since the last incident, but that is what you do when you get pkers on you. As soon as you run to that hut and you're inside, you're fine. Now, you can run to the lever where you came in, but it is a bit more risky, because if you get TB'd you're pretty much dead. Or if you keep running in and out the resource area, which makes the pkers pay every time they enter, unless they have the Wilderness Elite diaries done, then obviously they won't have to pay. I am 9 hours in now guys, coming up to the last hour, and still no pkers, which is great. And I did start getting a little bit worried just because I have so many crabs on me, and I didn't want to get to the 10 hour mark and I get pk'd, and knowing my luck that would probably happen, so I was just extra careful to make sure no one kills me. So coming up to the last few seconds left of the 10 hours and we are done. Just let me note the last few crabs and let's get out of here without dying. Phew, okay, so here is all the crabs I fished in the 10 hours. So I've got 3,072 dark crabs, so let's price check this and see how much I have made. 3.2 mil, not too bad at all. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend doing this method for obvious reasons, but I'm just glad I didn't die, otherwise I would have probably cried. So on average I was making around 318k GP per hour, and just under 400k in fishing XP within the 10 hours. So apparently I only gained 171k fishing XP on Crystal Math, which is weird, but obviously wrong of course. So I'm going to minus the supplies that I used, so 3072 dark fishing bait and 157k GP for knowing the crabs, but I still made over 3 mil, so quite pleased with that. So that is the end of the video. Now the money I made from fishing the dark crabs, I'll be doing this as a giveaway. I know it's not a lot, but it could go towards a bond, which is around 4 mil, so that'll pay for most of it, or you could buy some supplies, etc. So if you'd like the 3 mil, make sure you like this video, comment with your RuneScape name, and subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications. I'm also in the process of buying those crystal keys, so once they have been purchased in a GE, I'll crack on with the next video for you guys. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.